we're walking through the security and this and that, and people are just staring. I can feel them staring, even though I can't see them.
The overall scheme of things, and if you look at that sort of time frame from a point of view of when you're born to when you die, that's only a very, very, very small part, or time of your life.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Hermit Radio. Thanks for tuning in. This is Hermit Radio. I'm your host, Cameron. And for the next 10 minutes, I want you to sit back, relax, and go to your happy place because it's Zen Time. I want to talk about patience and compassion. They both work together. You can't have one without the other. Before you can have patience, you need to have compassion. And before you can have compassion for anybody else, you have to have compassion for yourself. And that's true, genuine understanding and love for yourself. Starting at the root cause of everything is yourself. Why do you get upset? Why are you depressed? Why are you sad? Really looking inside yourself to figure out what that is. Compassion for other people comes after you have compassion for yourself. Compassion for other people is putting yourself in the other person's shoes, looking at things from their perspective, and genuinely listening to them. Maybe that person caused you pain and suffering because they're having their own pain and suffering. And if you can understand that, then you can understand how everybody has pain and everybody has suffering to some level or degree. And that maybe it's not necessarily your fault. You're just taking it personally. And that person is just upset because of something that's going on in their life. When you can do that, then you are practicing patience. You're giving the person a break and just saying, you know what? I know you're not mad at me. I know whatever's going on is not my fault. So I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to be genuine. And I'm going to hear you out and see your side of things, even if I'm right. Even if it's I'm right, you're wrong, you're going to listen and you're going to hear the other person out. Because that's that compassion that you're showing for the other person, they will see that in you. When you're being honest and you're being genuine to the other person, they'll see that and they'll appreciate it. And then whatever you were arguing about or fighting about, it'll go away. It may take time. It may not happen the first try or the first time. But eventually, if you can both agree to be genuine to each other, you can see past it. You can move past it. And then moving even on a larger scale, your day-to-day interactions with other people can change. Being judgment-free of everybody else and having compassion for every single person like you would have compassion for yourself, that is a really good place. And it's not going to happen overnight. And it's definitely not going to happen just by me talking about it. Every day, I try to become a little bit better. I try to become a little bit more patient and a little bit more compassionate to myself and to everyone else. And that's not for everybody. I get it. It's the only way that I know how for myself to be at peace. One of the biggest things that I struggled with before I found my own way was my everyday interactions with people. I could get angry over anything and be negative about just everything for no reason. And immediately afterwards, I would think, man, why did I let that bug me? Why did I let that be a problem? A simple argument with my wife for nothing because I wanted to be right. So that meant raising my voice or not being nice. That meant sacrificing my own peace. And I realized I didn't have to do that anymore. There was no reason. And I want to encourage you to try something. If this is something that you see yourself struggling with, if it is something that you do think you need help with, I want to encourage you to try something. This is an actual practice that you can try to see if it can make a change. I know for myself it did, so I'm going to give it to you and hopefully it'll work. But the next time you find yourself in an argument with somebody, the moment that you become aware of that negativity, the moment that you realize this is about to be an argument, I want you to acknowledge what it is, and you need to calm down. The flight or fight response that you feel, your heart starts to jumping and getting electric, and you start feeling all that energy when you start getting negative and when you start fighting with somebody. This takes practice, but try to control that feeling. Try to hold that in, and then let the other person just say what they need to say. Let them speak what they want to say. And you just listen. And genuinely listen. Don't listen because you think you're right or you think you're better than the other person. I mean, just listen to that person, what they have to say. And then imagine yourself in that position. Imagine yourself in their shoes. Can you start to see something differently? Can you start to feel compassion for the other person? And if you can, then at the end of the argument, say either you're right or I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, what does it really matter if you're right or wrong? What does it matter? You're still going to wake up tomorrow and breathe fresh air. You're still going to go about your day. And if you love the people around you that you're having these arguments with, you'll forgive them and you'll be able to move on. And not everybody can feel this and not everybody can express this. But if you can, because you can make the choice tomorrow to start doing this, your example will encourage other people to follow. You can encourage positivity. You don't have to change anybody's mind. You don't have to do anything to change anybody. All you have to do is just be an example for other people to follow. And that's all you can do. Nobody will change if you try to force them to. They can only change if they want to. So be the example. Lead the way. Show everybody that's around you that there's another way to be and that you can live in peace and that you can live in happiness. If you don't feel that way and if you don't think that it's possible, it won't work for you. It's a mindset. It's not magic. I've said that before. So I encourage you to try that. And I really hope that you're getting some good information out of these Zen Time episodes. I believe that spirituality can be sometimes exacerbated a little bit. What I choose to look at it, how I choose to see things, is that I'm trying to just be the best version of myself. I'm trying to find new ways every day to be a little bit better and to be a little bit happier and be nicer to the people around me. That's all I want from my life. I want to be good at that. And everything else doesn't necessarily matter so much. The universe will provide for you what you need it to, if you allow it to. So thank you again for listening. This has been Hermit Radio. If you want to find us and if you want to get more information, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And it's just Hermit_radio. And we have a YouTube page as well. It'll be Hermit Radio. If you have any questions, you can leave comments or send me a message there. But otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll have an episode shortly. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Hermit Radio.